My name is Elizabeth Philbrick.
And I'm Jared Scott. I thought you were going to go more.
Oh, I can go more. Okay.
Yeah.
We met in graduate school, it feels like a decade ago. I am a city planner and Jared is a forester. So Montague Capulet style.
Yeah.
Jared came home one day with like a bottle of bubbly wine and a giant
Rand McNally
map
Road Atlas
and 2 colored pens, and we Venn diagrammed the whole country to figure out where can a forester and a city planner both get jobs. So we moved to Durango, Colorado. And then one night he rolls over in the middle of the night, like I'm mostly asleep, and he says, "I'd like to start my own cidery. Will you help me with that?" We served our first cider in 2020, 2 weeks before COVID shut the entire state down. So honestly, at this point, we're just pretty darn happy to have survived at all. So one of the main reasons we moved to this part of the world is it's one of the most historic apple growing regions in North America. There's over 600 varieties of apples in Montezuma and La Plata County alone. And Jared is obsessed with fruit.
Yeah. Some of these orchards, we can date them back to the late 1880s in which they were planted. It's sort of been in and out of the economics of fruit growing. What I mean by that is that people were growing fruit commercially off and on over the last 150 years. But none of the orchards have really been converted to keep up with the modern fruit varieties that you would see at the grocery store. So each orchard that you walk onto in this region is sort of like a snapshot in time of what fruits were trendy and cool in that decade.
But some of these orchards have like the last known of that variety left. And so in order for us to not give ourselves a heart attack and think this is the last time this apple is ever going to be picked, we have been doing this amazing job of getting special types of wood called scion wood off of the trees, grafting them onto rootstock that can survive here, and getting them in pots just so we can preserve the genetic diversity of these trees. Well, that's all fine and dandy until you have a collection of a couple of thousand trees and no place to put them in the ground. And that's how the Arboretum came about.
So up here, what we have going on is our little baby tree nursery. So these are the trees that we grafted this last spring. You can see them here down the rows, and then whatever rootstock we didn't get to, we also planted in these rows here so that way we can graft them next spring. The idea is to put in 200 different varieties of apple trees and about 2,000 in total apple trees. If you want to think about conservation and water conservation, a lot of these old orchards, especially in Montezuma County, do get, when someone buys it and doesn't see any value in these old apple trees, they'll often cut down the apple trees and then just replant it as a hay field. And when you grow hay, you have the water on all the time until your water runs out for the season. And that's a lot of water that's going to just growing grass. Whereas when you're growing fruit, especially on certain types of rootstocks, like standard rootstocks, they can set tap roots down, which allows the tree to put roots down deeper into the soil to find water. So planting apple trees can arguably use less water.
So the Arboretum is a massive step for us. It's a huge step for us. This is an extraordinarily uncomfortable time. We thought we had this on lock. The property was purchased over a year ago, and it's taken us that long to get through the regulatory hurdles to call agriculture land agriculture land. And in that year-long process, we spent down a lot of our working capital. We expected to be open by now and making money there. We are coming across a really tight timeline. Our liquor license is attached to our main facility, which is in Dolores. Volatile real estate market has led us to not have a home anymore in Dolores, in our facility in Dolores. So we sort of got pushed to grow a little bit faster than we were comfortable doing. Our lease is up at the end of November. If we don't have a facility to move into by that time and move our license to, our facility in Dolores shuts down, our facility in Durango shuts down, and the whole project shuts down. Now we're just trying to save our license. We're trying to save EsoTerra, period.
So you have a white cheddar over here, vegan dolmas, cornichons, provincial olives. This is it.
We're a rapidly growing community with a lot of change happening. Apples are in large part our history here. The majority of the Animas Valley was apples. The majority of the corridors between Cortez and Dolores and Mancos were all apples. This is a rapidly declining component of our community. It's a preservation of history, but it's also a preservation of place.
We're so isolated and rural here that we have to make sure that we are active in the community and that people know who we are, what we're doing. In the end, it's just beneficial to everybody that we all do something for the community.
We're creating a community hub that's more than just a bar. It's a place of conservation, it's a place of cutting edge fruit, but it's also just a place to be.
So we do need some working capital right now, so that way we just don't run out of money and have to shut the doors.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
You get to keep that deep inside your heart for as long as the Arboretum exists. And you can always know that every single time you come to the tasting room up there, you helped make this.